The English Premier League kicks off this weekend, and for the first time ever, the football club Arsenal has entered into an official partnership with a non-alcoholic beer. The Athletic Brewing Company is based in the US. It is now said to be valued at $800 million. That's up from $400 million just 2 years ago. Investors have been signing up as drinking habits change, particularly among younger adults. Bill Shufelt is the CEO of Athletic Brewing. He joins us live now from Connecticut. So just walk us through what it means for Athletic Brewing to have this kind of partnership with a sporting giant like Arsenal.
Oh, thank you so much, Zane. I'm so excited to be on. I should have worn my kit with the season starting this
You
weekend.
should have.
Um, but we're really excited. It's a stage that non-alcoholic beer would have never had 5 to 10 years ago. There were barely options in any stadiums, and we're really excited to take non-alcoholic beer forward to this next level of marketing and availability and destigmatization, where it's really exploding on the global landscape.
Because previously, non-alcoholic beer was targeted to those who are in recovery and also to pregnant women as well. But now we're seeing it really be targeted towards the masses, especially given that people's sort of drinking habits have changed. Walk us through how important taste was for you, because non-alcoholic beer has had a reputation of not necessarily tasting that good in the past. How much of a priority was taste for you?
For sure. It's both product quality and marketing in many ways. It was a total reinvention of both. Common logic historically, a non-alcoholic beer had barely had any overhaul since Prohibition in innovation or marketing. And logic had it that non-alcoholic beer was something for 1% of the population, 1% of the time, these very specific life times and occasions where really people are not consuming alcohol 95+% of the time they're awake, and a huge amount of the population is decreasing their alcohol consumption. So there's actually an enormous occasion base for this category. It just needed to be remarketed and reformulated in an exciting modern way. And that's where John Walker, our co-founder and brewmaster, came in. He brought a very talented brewing background to non-alcoholic beer for the first time, and we've won well over 100 globally recognized taste awards in our life at Athletic Brewing, over 27 this year alone globally. So
Wow.
really standing out on a global stage of taste. But then equally as important is the marketing of the category. People needed the confidence to hold these beers in their hand and say they were great. And I think from everything from UK footballers with the Arsenal team to American footballers with JJ Watt and different celebrities and chefs and everything, we've tried to make the marketing really easy and aspirational also.
Yeah, because you have captured so much of the market share because every major brewer now has a non-alcoholic option. But it almost seems as though you really managed to sort of sneak up on them and capture this huge market share. How do you think you did that?
I think well, thank you. Yeah, Athletic is the number one non-alcoholic beer brand in the United States and climbing up the ranks globally in a few key markets. And it is exciting to see the innovation around us in the category also. 10 years ago, you couldn't get any major brands in non-alcoholic form. And now almost every major global brewer has their flagship beer in the category. In the US, Athletic Brewing is about 20% of market share. We have three of the top 10 non-alcoholic beers in the market. And we're actually about 2% share of the overall US craft beer market now. And then as we go international, that has quickly been climbing up the ranks also in Canada and the UK as we expand globally.
Who's your typical consumer? Obviously, we know that Gen Z is drinking less than previous generations. People love mocktails. They've started trends like this idea of being sober curious. Are they the biggest part of your audience? I mean, what is your sort of target consumer profile?
So one thing that I think is an interesting potential misconception is Gen Z still loves to drink. I think we're just kind of decoupling drinking from drinking alcohol. And this is the first generation that's turning legal drinking age and having the option to drink exciting offerings in alcohol and non-alcoholic offerings. Every other generation, when they went to a bar, a restaurant, or a party, there really wasn't any way to socialize if you weren't drinking alcohol.
Right.
So I think just by availability is a really exciting change happening in the market. But to put some numbers behind that, in a recent Gallup poll data, 45% of adults believe that moderate drinking, as defined by one or two drinks a day, is unhealthy. That's increased 17 points in just the last 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, you have so much going for you just in terms of you've got the name recognition, you've got funding, you've got obviously not just Gen Z, but even beyond Gen Z, so many people who love your products. I think really is just about keeping the momentum going, I'm guessing. But we have to leave it there. Bill Shufelt, live for us there. Thank you so much.